YouTube, what is going on? It's the Narrow Talk 23. I'm back with another video. Before we get into the video, YouTube, I need you to hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. Turn on that post notification bell while you at it. Today we got another true crime story. We got the wannabe serial killer who started off killing his best friend B2. Let's get straight into it.
Did you stab anywhere else on his body? Just basically the back of the neck off, and once in the temple, and I think that's it.
This is Michael Hernandez.
Through the neck?
Just a few hours ago, he had brutally murdered his best friend by cutting his throat and viciously jabbing him with a knife. He told detectives that he did it because he knew his friend trusted him and would do anything he told him. But scaringly enough, he said he was not done yet.
Now, Mike, you know the difference between right and wrong, correct? Yes, I do. Do you think what you did is right or wrong? No, I don't. Well, what don't you think? I think it is neither right, but I don't think it was wrong. Are you sorry that this happened?
What?
No, I'm not.
So, what would make a 14-year-old be that evil?
Sick.
This is the case of the wannabe serial killer who started off by killing his best friend.
He said he killed him
Tuesday,
because he
February
trusted
3rd,
him too much.
2004. The day started like any other normal school day at Southwood Middle School in Miami, Florida. The classes were just about to start when suddenly two male students busted out of the boys' bathroom, running and screaming in horror.
He did it at
The security
school?
guard saw the fear in the boys' faces and rushed to the bathroom to check what was going on, but what he saw made him recoil in
You
pure
gotta be
terror.
able to do that.
In one of the bathroom stalls, a 14-year-old boy lay limply across the toilet seat with his face looking down. A pool of gore had formed on the floor around him, and he appeared unresponsive. The boy was later identified as Jamie Go, a shy and quiet straight-A student who was kind to everyone and loved playing the violin. He had multiple jabs on his neck, and it seemed like his throat had been cut. But who would
look at all that blood, bruh.
He had multiple jabs
Like,
on his neck, and it
damn.
seemed like his throat had been cut. But who would do such an awful thing? Was there a killer on the loose? The entire school was immediately placed on lockdown, and the police rushed in and tried to find the killer.
There was an announcement on the PA system that school was under lockdown. What they explained to us was that a boy was found dead in the school. It didn't explain to us that it was a murder.
A few hours later, investigators walked into the 8th grade classroom and asked for 14-year-old
just
Michael.
imagine, bro. You just sitting there doing work, and the bell with the intercom, they talking about somebody dead in the school. I would have left so quick. Ain't no evacuating, nothing. Bro, what?
Hernandez, who had been identified by a witness as having been leaving the bathroom before Jamie's body was found. Michael's teacher had also noted something quite interesting that she told the detectives. Apparently, since the class started at around 8:55 a.m., Michael had requested to go to the bathroom at least 3 times, twice before 9 a.m., and one time after the school had gone into lockdown. But while that was pretty weird, there was something else. Michael's teacher also noted that he had some red stains on his white shirt, and when she asked him about it, he claimed that he got it from a nosebleed. However, he would later tell another student that he got injured after he ran into a door. Another student told the detectives that Michael got really angry when a classmate tried to get a paper out of his book bag, which is pretty odd because he usually didn't have any problem with anyone touching his bag, so what was he hiding there? Michael was taken out of class and led to an interrogation room, but at that time the police had no idea of the horror they were about to uncover.
Do you know an individual by the name of Jaime or Jamie Goff? Yes, I do. And how do you know Jamie? We've been friends since the 7th grade.
At first, Michael denied having anything to do with Jamie's death, and even claimed that another teen did it because Jamie owed him money.
Originally, Michael told me that the person responsible for this was a person by the name of Sangre, and that he was a 17-year-old gangbanger Spanish kid.
The detectives,
Captain
of course,
Lighthill.
did not buy this story, and so they decided to check his backpack. And what they found left them completely shocked.
What the fuck was in there, bro?
Inside the bag was the windbreaker, a knife, latex gloves. There was blood on the windbreaker, and
First of all, if you just killed somebody, why would you go back to class, bro? Or at least if you gonna go back, get rid of that shit. What the fuck you got that shit in the book bag for? Those stupid ass.
the knife, of course, was
Stupid.
bloody as well.
When Michael was confronted with this evidence, he caved and made this chilling confession.
Why did you make the suggestion to Jamie to go inside the school today? I was planning to murder him.
Michael grew up in a pretty stable and spiritual home with parents who both loved and supported him. Those who knew him described him as brilliant and outgoing, with a bright future ahead of him. He was popular among his gifted classmates, and he had two loyal friends, Jamie Go and Andre Martin, who followed him wherever he went.
Michael was almost like the leader of our social group. Wherever Michael went, or whatever Michael said we were doing next, that's what we did. There was definitely no resistance to any ideas that Michael might have come up with.
As he got older, Michael started to develop symptoms of OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, whereby he would obsess over everything he did, including what he ate, what he did, and even kept a to-do list for every minute of his life.
He did some repetitive behaviors. He took knives on the dining room table and he would point all the knives in his direction. He also would open and close his garage door again and again.
His parents noticed his weird behavior with concern, but assumed that it was just an adolescent thing that he would grow out of with time, but he didn't. Instead, his obsessive behavior turned to something else, something dark and dangerous.
Michael's exact words to me were that he thought it would be cool to be a serial killer.
Bro, what?
And I asked him why. You know, what do you think would be so cool about being a serial killer? And as far as I remember him telling me, he explained to me that he didn't have an exact reason. I believe that most of what Michael did was for attention.
With this
all it was.
newfound
He thought he was
interest, Michael
gonna
would
be
spend
cool,
time
bro.
researching serial killers and watching movies about them. One particular movie that he really liked was The Silence of the Lambs.
Between the real life and fictional serial killers, I think he tried to take aspects of both and, you know, bring them into himself. Whether it was Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs or, you know, Ted Bundy in real life, I think he found aspects of you know, both fiction and reality that he appreciated.
While Michael's friends, Jamie and Andre, were a bit creeped out by his fascination with murder and death, they thought that it was probably a phase that would wear off with time. But then, Michael did something at school that left Andre completely terrified of him.
We had a middle school football game called the Turkey Bowl, and Michael, Jamie, and myself were hanging out with a few other students. And one of the students basically was making a joke like young boys do, and it was directed at Michael.
What you say?
At the time, Michael used to carry around a screwdriver with him, which he told his friends he would use to lock his bedroom door to prevent his sister from going through his things. So, on this day, when the boys started making fun of Michael, he snapped and pounced on him with the screwdriver.
Oh
I
shit.
do remember myself and Jamie urging him to step away from that student. So
Man, y'all
to
should
get
have
into
beat the
control.
hell out of his
That added
ass.
to my reasoning that something was off with him.
But
Right,
despite
man.
having seen Michael's other side, his friends, at the time, still had no idea what he was actually capable of.
Do you know why you were going to do this?
No, I don't.
Now, what was your plan? How were you going to accomplish this?
I was going to get him into a stall, the last stall, because it's the biggest, so I have more room.
Now, this is in a restroom?
This is the restroom,
On which floor?
7th floor.
On the morning of the murder, Michael had apparently asked Jamie to meet him at school a little earlier than everyone else, which was not really unusual considering that they were both gifted students. When they met, Michael lured Jamie into the bathroom by telling him that he had something to show him in there.
I got him into the stall by saying, look, I have something to show you. So I got him into the stall, and I told him to turn around because I wanted it to be a surprise.
And he started stabbing him.
Before that, put on the gloves. He saw me put on the gloves, and I said, "Oh, I like them." And I said, "I like them because they're comfortable."
Notice how fast and excited his voice gets as he narrates his story? According to experts, retelling a story can be a way for someone to relive an experience. And, in the process, it often brings back the feelings that someone felt at that particular time. Experts also believed that his fast talking could be due to his eagerness to show the detectives just how smart he was in planning and executing his crime. And the fact that the crime is murdering his best friend doesn't seem to bother him.
Now, you also said that you put on gloves. What kind of gloves were these?
They were latex gloves.
Where did you get them from?
My mother purchased them at Walgreens the previous night.
Why did she purchase these? Was that at your request?
It was at my request because I said that I needed them for extra credit for my science class.
This particular information shows that the brutal attack on Jamie was not a heat-of-the-moment thing. It was premeditated. Michael said that he had planned it for a week and even had written down a to-do list of how he was going to carry out the murder.
Bruh.
On top of that, he also had gone as far
He got a
as planned it
whole
for
list?
a week and even had
Let me just see.
written down a to-do list of how he was
What
going
it say? I gotta read what it's saying, bro. It say, lead to bathroom. If Warren doesn't want to make his sit on the toilet, this will be done early. Follow number.
carry out the murder. On top of that, he also had gone as far as creating a secret compartment on his back where he was going to hide the murder weapon.
Now, you and him are already in the stall, correct?
Yes.
Did he go into the stall first?
Yes.
Did you follow him?
Yes, I did.
Did you close the stall door?
Yes, I did.
Now, what transpired next?
Okay. I was talking to him and I told him, all right, now I have to put my hand over your mouth.
Okay.
And so I did. And I lifted his neck up.
Now, was he facing you or was he away from you?
He was away from me.
Did you put your hand over his mouth?
Yes, I did.
And which hand did you use to put over his mouth?
My left hand.
Once you did that, what happened next?
I had already before I put my hand over his mouth, I already put my knife out. So the blade was already out.
Jamie innocently did everything that Michael told him because he was his friend. and
Friend,
trusted
bro,
him.
like,
But Michael
wouldn't know
cold-heartedly
what to
betrayed
do.
that trust by cutting his throat and jabbing him more than
40
times. in the neck.
times?
Jamie say or do anything? Did he put up a struggle?
Yes, he did. He turned around after I did that. He asked me not to kill him. So I told him, okay, I'm not going to if you cooperate.
Okay.
Which was a lie.
This has got to be the worst kind of betrayal that anyone could ever go through. And I can't even begin to imagine what was going through Jamie's mind as his best friend
Sad,
brutally murdered him.
Supposed to be
But
your friend.
if you thought you've heard the worst about this case, you're terribly mistaken. Michael told detectives that Jamie was actually not his first target. He had planned to murder his other friend, Andre, before killing Jamie. But when he tried to lure Andre into the bathroom, Andre instinctively refused.
Andre was not going.
Or
Andre is not going like that.
the same way that I would kill Jamie today, except for the fact that I was going to stab him in the back and stab here. And that would have been it.
When detectives searched Michael's room, they found a journal where he had written down a list of people that he
was finna
intended to kill,
bro.
and among them was his older sister. Despite being 14 at the time of the crime, Michael was charged as an adult with first-degree murder of Jamie and first-degree attempted murder of Andre. He was found guilty of both charges and sentenced to life in prison without parole, plus 30 years for the attempted murder. However, he only got to serve 13 years of his sentence before he collapsed and died in April 2021 at the age of 31. But, on a less tragic note, Andre grew up to become a police officer, a decision he says was inspired by this terrifying experience. What are your thoughts about this case? Let me know in the comment section, and don't forget
That
to
don't
like
make
this
no
video and
sense, bro.
subscribe
For
more.
a second, I thought they said he got out. I'm like, bro, I know they ain't let him out, bro. Damn, man. People just be out here doing crazy ass shit, bro. It don't make no type of sense. He killed his friend and tried to become a who? I ain't gonna say who. I done seen plenty stories, but like, why do you? And then you have people that you want to kill written down. But he was, it is what it is. But YouTube, if you rocking with the channel, leave me a like, comment, and subscribe. Catch me on the next one.